upgraded to a flagrant 2.
The defensive foul on Dejanay Carrington has been upgraded to a flagrant foul, penalty 2. Since there's wind-up, impact, and follow-through, high potential for injury, players in a vulnerable position. Since the basket was successful, Sophie Cunningham will receive 2 free throws to make 1.
There's wind-up, there's follow-through, there's potential for injury, the player's in a vulnerable position. And so Dejanay Carrington, who had been off...
Explosive moment of the WNBA season did not just halt a basketball game, but completely shattered the institutional trust of an entire professional league. What erupted on the court between the Indiana Fever and the Chicago Sky was a targeted physical strike, followed by an unprecedented digital warfare campaign. Fans and analysts were left completely stunned as a violent foul instantly escalated into coaching betrayals and severe officiating chaos. The suffocating tension in the arena reached a boiling point as 2 fierce rivals collided in a battle for...
Dejanay Carrington went to the locker room and tweeted,
Maybe upgraded, I think, to a flagrant.
"White privileged. How in the hell is this white privilege when you assaulted a player? Sophie didn't touch you. How is this a race issue? Make it make sense. Because I am definitely confused here, guys. I mean, I am hella confused. How is this a race issue, bro? And then not only that, Sophie Cunningham speaks on the matter. So immediately after the game, y'all know the reporters wasted no time catching up with the Sophster. And a lot of stuff did happen, and I did forget about the
opening quarter of this high-stakes showdown. The Indiana Fever sought to establish physical dominance early against their rivals. Sophie Cunningham secured the basketball in transition and accelerated down the floor on a fast break layup opportunity. Cunningham had firmly established herself throughout the season as the undeniable enforcer and physical protector of her roster. Trailing closely behind her on the fast break was Chicago Sky guard Dejanay Carrington, who closed the gap with frightening speed and dangerous...
Same explanation. And when you mix that in with what the referee said even transpired in the first place, once again...
Yeah, she intentionally seeked out the official.
She intentionally, Caitlin Clark intentionally seeked out an official and used...
You were backwards to them. Did you even know they were there in that moment?
And through the forearm.
And through a forearm. So Caitlin intentionally, that's a wild accusation, by the way, not accidentally, intentionally ran in and seeked out an official and threw a forearm, when you can clearly see in real time that Caitlin Clark was literally hip bumped by Natasha Howard while she was mobile. You guys know when you're running, you are in a vulnerable position. Any slight push or anything can really exaggerate your trajectory and where you're headed.
So clearly was a foul. It was not called.
How is that a forearm extension? Can somebody please let me know? How is this a forearm extension?
So clearly was...
How is this a forearm extension? Is this a forearm extension to you guys? If anything, that's a backhand extension. But this referee wouldn't know that. I'm telling you, man, this target on CeCe's back is clear as day. But anyways, Caitlin Clark already knew what was going on. As I said, she was a little too confident right here. President Clark, somebody must have told her something. This was my reaction to it. I'm on the bottom right if you can't tell.
Another technical foul. I know that can lead to another suspension.
Of course, Kelsey laughing.
Thoughts on what happened?
She said I ran into her. I've already watched it on the tape, so we'll let the league decide, but it wasn't intentional or anything. So I'm hoping it's getting rescinded, Holly. I'll see
and nothing was said. Nothing was said.
I'll see.
She said
Cunningham elevated toward the rim to finish the play. Carrington delivered a sickening full-force hit directly across Cunningham's head and neck. The brutal impact violently knocked Cunningham out of midair, slamming her hard onto the hardwood court even as her layup dropped through the net. This was the exact moment standard athletic play dissolved into dangerous chaos. The violence of the impact shocked everyone in attendance, leaving the entire arena frozen in disbelief.
I hope she's done at the end of this season. I can't believe, I don't care if Dejanay Carrington played for you in the past. Sophie Cunningham, Caitlin Clark, they are in your locker room right now, and you are defending Dejanay Carrington. We're going to compare what you had to say, Stephanie White, to the fans, what they had to say about Dejanay Carrington calling this white privilege. Nasty work, man. Welcome to Keep the Vision. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, share the channel, hit the bell notification, like the video. That'd be greatly appreciated. We got to get into it, man. Stephanie Dingbat White, bonehead. The lady has no idea what she's doing. She's in over her head. She's way over her head when it comes to this job. She needs to go back to being head coaches of teams that nobody really gives a damn about. And it's that simple. Take a listen to Stephanie White defending Dejanay Carrington. This is disgusting. If I'm Sophie Cunningham, I'm pissed. My mouth was bleeding. She tried to take my head off, and you at the podium talking about, oh, you don't think it was on purpose. What?
And also there was, for Seth, there was Sophie's flagrant foul from Dejanay. Just what was your reaction to that? Just your thoughts on what happened.
Yeah, I mean, look, it was a hard foul. I don't think that Dejanay intentionally came out to get her across the neck. Like,
what are you talking about? What are you just have your team's back, bruh? When do you have your team's back, Stephanie?
To play the victim, Cunningham popped up immediately from the hardwood court in a state of visible fury. She charged directly toward Carrington and delivered an aggressive shove before players and officials frantically intervened. Teammates desperately held both athletes back to prevent a full-scale bench-clearing brawl on live national television. The arena atmosphere turned hostile as refereeing crews scrambled to maintain control over the volatile situation.
At all. She was ejected from the game. It was a flagrant 2. The refs got it right. Don't worry. They'd fuck that up later. I mean, I can't give them credit. How about this, folks? This is me, yours truly. Follow me on the Twitter, @Rhodes How about this, folks? Quote, white privilege with your blonde hair. Yeah, culturally appropriating Sophie Cunningham's hair? Oh, that's a bad look. I'm just pointing that out. Now, I tagged the WNBA in this @WNBA. This feels like a threat against the Indiana Fever. Dejanay tweets out 8:23 with a smile. Now, again, that's the next time they play, folks. What you gonna do on 8:23? What's going down 8:23 at Kathy Engelbert? At W? You got your ears on? That sounds a whole lot like its own site. Its own site. Slay Travis, blatant racism on the foul in the tweet. She should be thrown out of the league for the rest of the year. But it's the WNBA, so she would probably get a 5-year contract extension. Yeah. The league just tweeted.
Rushed to the court monitor to review the replay footage from every available camera angle. The slow motion tape breakdown left absolutely no room for debate as refs identified clear windup, severe force, and reckless follow-through high across the neck. Officiating staff officially upgraded the call to a flagrant foul penalty 2, resulting in Carrington's immediate ejection from the arena. Carrington was escorted to the locker room while the stadium atmosphere remained extremely tense. Instead of diffusing the situation, Carrington escalated the crisis into full-scale digital warfare just minutes after reaching the locker room. She pulled out her mobile phone, bypassed standard league compliance, and posted an inflammatory white privilege accusation on social media while explicitly tagging the Indiana Fever. This bold move pushed a deeply personal athletic conflict directly into the public sphere. The instant online post transformed an on-court flagrant foul into an international media firestorm. During post-game media availability, Cunningham expertly controlled the narrative and dismantled any claim that the hit was a standard basketball play. She explicitly declared that she believed Carrington's foul was completely intentional and totally unnecessary. Cunningham noted that while she had no personal history with Carrington, she suspected her opponent was harboring pent-up frustration. She firmly asserted that she would never allow anyone to attack her on the court without standing her ground. Just when the Indiana Fever organization was expected to lock ranks and fiercely defend their veteran enforcer, a staggering twist unfolded at the press podium. Fever head coach Stephanie White delivered a post-game statement that felt like a shocking betrayal to her locker room and fan base. Standing in front of reporters, Coach White unexpectedly defended the opposing player's intentions. Her comments completely undermined the severity of the violent hit her own player had just endured. Coach White admitted it was a hard foul, but shockingly claimed she did not believe Carrington intentionally targeted Cunningham across the neck. The head coach insisted the contact was accidental, even while agreeing with the official flagrant 2 ejection call. This surprising stance actively minimized the dangerous intent of a strike that carried massive potential for severe injury. Players and supporters were left stunned, as the head coach openly excused an opponent's physical violence. The internal optics of Coach White's press conference generated immediate outrage across the franchise's fan base. Analysts questioned how a head coach could watch her own player get clotheslined on a fast break and fail to condemn the opponent's actions. The apparent lack of backing created intense friction among supporters who demanded total loyalty for their battered enforcer. Coach White's controversial statements only added fuel to an already burning organizational nightmare. Meanwhile, Chicago Sky head coach Tyler Marsh attempted to completely sidestep the growing controversy during his post-game availability. He claimed he had not seen a replay of the hit, maintaining that Carrington was simply making a legitimate play on the ball. When pressed regarding Carrington's toxic social media post, Marsh deflected responsibility by stating he was just learning about it and would handle it internally. His noncommittal answers left critical questions unanswered as public scrutiny intensified. As the battle between Cunningham and Carrington dominated headlines, the game officials completely lost control of the physical environment on the court. In the third quarter, while the Fever fought to protect a narrow lead, referees dragged superstar Caitlin Clark directly into the chaos. Clark was assessed a completely bogus technical foul that shocked teammates and spectators alike. The phantom call highlighted an officiating crew that was rapidly unraveling under immense pressure. The controversial technical foul occurred after Clark was forcefully hip-bumped out of bounds by opposing player Natasha Howard while running at high speed. The physical push sent Clark off balance into an official standing near the sideline. Replays clearly showed that the contact was completely accidental and caused entirely by momentum from the uncalled defensive bump. Despite clear video evidence, the referee penalized Clark for intentional contact with an official. This unfair penalty carried catastrophic stakes for the Indiana Fever and their franchise star. The technical foul marked Clark's 8th technical whistle of the regular season. Under league regulations, accumulating 8 technical fouls triggers an automatic mandatory 1-game suspension. The sudden ruling threatened to sideline the premier attraction in women's basketball for her team's upcoming contest. The league was suddenly facing a massive commercial disaster and a public relations nightmare of unprecedented proportions. Suspending the sport's biggest star over an obvious officiating blunder threatened to destroy fan trust in league administration. Outraged viewers demanded immediate front office intervention as broadcast replays repeatedly proved Clark's complete innocence. The officiating mistake threatened to overshadow the outcome of Indiana's hard-fought victory. Caitlin Clark demonstrated high-class restraint and absolute composure during her post-game television interview. She calmly explained that the referee falsely accused her of deliberately running into her along the sideline. Clark stated she had already reviewed the tape breakdown and was confident the league office would evaluate the situation correctly. She made it crystal clear that contact was accidental and that no words were exchanged during the play. Recognizing the massive fallout of an unearned suspension, the league front office took swift corrective action. Officials carefully reviewed all available broadcast footage and confirmed that Clark was pushed into the referee by momentum. Within hours, the league officially rescinded Clark's 8th technical foul, saving her from serving an unfair mandatory suspension. The rapid reversal spared the superstar, but further damaged the credibility of the game officials. While Clark escaped suspension, the chaotic officiating throughout the matchup exposed deeper institutional issues within league officiating. Fans and media personalities slammed the refereeing crew for failing to manage physical play while targeting star players with phantom whistles. The inability to maintain order allowed unchecked violence on one end while punishing accidental contact on the other. The officiating breakdown added to a growing list of controversies during the high-stakes season. The fallout from this explosive contest permanently altered team dynamics and deepened rivalries across the entire league. Carrington's dangerous foul and subsequent digital attack exposed simmering animosity between rival rosters. Cunningham's resilience and Clark's calm leadership under fire stood out against a backdrop of coaching missteps and refereeing incompetence. The scars from this wild matchup guaranteed that future meetings between these teams would be pure fireworks. This battle provided a masterclass in professional sports drama, exposing hidden rivalries, media warfare, and organizational dysfunction. Sophie Cunningham stood her ground, took a heavy blow, and shut down false narratives, while Caitlin Clark weathered targeted officiating to secure victory. The high-volatility environment proved that modern basketball is an absolute battlefield where every hit, tweet, and whistle carries massive consequences. The entire sports world remains on notice as this chaotic season continues to unfold.